Hi guys, welcome. This is my YouTube channel, Divine Hippie 2222. My name is Stephanie, and today I'm doing my Let's Learn the Art of Tarot series, and we are doing the Page of Swords. Okay, so now the Page of Swords is represented by Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, so the websites and all the information that I used to gather my opinion of all of this information is in the description box below, okay? My resources, my opinions. This is what resonated for me when I was studying, okay? And the whole point of a learning and a growing channel is to show you guys how I'm learning and growing through learning my decks, learning the individual decks. And so this information is what resonated for me, but you guys are going to find the right informational sources for you. Okay. So this is beautiful. All right. So the Page of Swords, for this individual card, it represents delays. Okay. Now in the upright position, the delays are beneficial, right? The universe is delaying this scenario to give us time, right? Or to give it prep time. Okay. So, it's an and I break it down: general, love, money, health, spirituality. That's part of the reason, that's part of the reason I chose the websites and the information that I did. Okay. So this could be right, just my interpretation, indicative of delayed news, ideas, planning, or inspiration. Okay. But this is a card of being protective, vigilant, and possibly guarded. So what the universe is wanting us to hear by receiving this card, okay, is asking us for patience and to think before we speak, to be mindful, okay, and ensure that we're not being drawn in to unnecessary energetic traps, okay, like arguments, things of that nature, okay. So, it is a court card, right? So court cards also represent individuals. It may be you and or someone in your environment, okay? So this is an indication of an energy in your environment who really is, fairness is very important to them, okay? Fighting injustice, standing up for the little guy. Standing up for the little guy. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's what this card represents. Delayed news and standing up for the little guy, okay? So it's an indication that you and or someone in your environment, they're learning or getting an education in some form or fashion, okay? Yes, it may be a student. You may be in college, as pages are that age, the age of, those individuals. But it doesn't necessarily mean a schooling education, okay? Maybe you're getting an education in hard knocks, right? Maybe people are trying to educate you on street knowledge, but you already have it. So they're surprised. Curious, inquisitive, and using your head. Now, this is someone who is communicative, direct, and truthful. Now, the thing to be mindful, to watch out for, right? Because we get so passionate and so, protect the little guy, right? That we forget that we become mindless only in the moment, right? And it may come off as being blunt, abrasive, or engaging in gossip. Okay? So those are things to be mindful of with this energy coming off as abrasive, abrupt, right? Harsh, when you're just trying to share your truth, when you're using your quick-witted abilities to communicate, right? Okay, so now as an individual, a young person, a child, or person who's just young at heart, because again, guys, this is energy. So it's just a representation of us and or someone in our environment embodying these qualities of energy, okay? This individual is lively, quick thinking, analytical, logical, cool, possesses a sharp mind, swords, sharp point. Like I said, abhors justice, wants to protect the little guy, a deep thinker, but again, at the same time, can come across as that blunt and abrasive manner. So we want to be mindful when this card appears, okay? So that we can be careful, okay? So, and they do like to stick to the rules, okay? They may be an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. All right. So now that's just general interpretation, okay? Now in reverse, the general interpretation. So in the upright, it was delayed news. In reverse, it's disappointing news. Undesirable news. It is lack of ideas, planning, or inspiration. Maybe being a little defensive, a little cold, a little harsh. Remember those energies that we are trying to be mindful of in the upright position. Just not speaking out. Maybe you saw something and you wondered if you should have said something. And this is just the universe saying, hey, yeah, learning, right? Not that we're bad, not that we made a poor choice, but hey, this is so that we can learn to make the best choices for everyone involved, not just ourselves or not just someone else, okay? So this is the universe telling us, hey, we've been there, we've done that, we learned, so now that this scenario is coming up again, we want to be mindful, right? Maybe difficulty in communicating, okay? So really what this card is wishing to, the message the card is attempting to convey is it's a warning to us, okay, about the way we communicate with the people in our lives, all right? Because for me, tarot's about us, okay? Yes, court cards can be indicative of another individual or many individuals in our environment. However, the message that tarot gives us, we can use it to remote view on other people, but what good does that do us? We're spending time and energy looking into other people. How about we spend the same time and energy putting that back into ourselves, okay? Being careful, being mindful, remembering, okay? So, basically, this is someone who may be a game player, playing mind games, a malicious gossip, and just paranoid energy. And so that's all energy we want to stay away from. That's not energy we're interested in. That's energy we would like to be able to identify and be mindful enough to avoid, right? Okay, so as a person, this may be you and or us, I don't want to point fingers and say you, maybe us and or someone in our environment who's keeping information to themselves. Still analytical and logical with a sharp mind, okay? But they may use their wit for malicious or vindictive purposes. So that's what I said. We want to be mindful so that we can identify that and then be careful to avoid it, right? Because other people's lessons are their lessons. We have the choice. Do we want to get sucked in to somebody else's lesson? Or do we want to use our time and energy on us for our own betterment, for our own development, and for our own lessons? Okay? So, anyone who's trying to manipulate us, okay? They may be cynical, sarcastic, or just consider themselves better than everybody else, okay? Guys, we're all connected. No one's better than anyone. There's no competition. The only competition that we have is with ourselves each and every day. Period, end of story. That's it. Okay, so that's the general interpretation. Delayed news, bad news, lack of communication skills at the moment, and being mindful that we are not being manipulative and deceitful. And if it's not us, perfect, awesome, we're doing the right thing. So if it's not us, be mindful that someone in our environment may be attempting those energies, okay? So you already have the heads up. Golden, okay? Now, love, okay? This is, if you're in a relationship, that's part of the reason I like the website, the Tarot Guide. It's in the resources. It's in my resources listed below. It breaks love down into relationship and singles. So not everyone fits in the same box, okay? So for a relationship, again, guys, if it resonates for you, if you see this message, then this information resonates for you, okay? So, relationship, the news you were hoping for, or a development in your relationship may be delayed. No, it will be delayed, right? Delayed news. Or it may take a bit longer than you think. So the universe is just asking us for patience, okay? So, it may be an indication of some conflict in our relationship. So, again, be mindful, be careful, okay? We wish if the more mindful and careful we are, then the easier it is for us to avoid unnecessary or petty arguments with our partners, okay? All right, and then now, by all means, stand your ground for the things that truly matter. Stand your ground, but not everything needs a response, right? So that's what I'm saying, okay? Being mindful, being careful, weighing out our options and our choices, what really deserves our time and attention, and what other area could we best put our time and attention into instead of those energetic traps, okay? Now, singles. This is an indication that we need to make more effort to socialize, to get out there, to be fun, to be seen, because if we're not seen, if we're not socializing, then we're missing the opportunities out there that the universe has in store for us, okay? So, if you have been hoping for a relationship, it may take longer than you think. Just be patient, okay? The universe is not going to send you something in a rush, in a hurry. It may send you a test in a rush and in a hurry, right? So that's where the mindfulness and the carefulness comes in. Okay, so now, relationships in reverse. Again, indication of development, the development of your relationship being disappointing, not being what you had hoped for, not being what you had anticipated, expected, lack of communication. Maybe we were not as clear and concise as we had hoped for and intended to be with the universe, right? So maybe this is us going back to the drawing board, okay? So now that doesn't mean end the relationship, right? That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is being a little more mindful and concise and clear in our communication with our partner, okay? So maybe your partner's playing mind games. Maybe they're just being uncaring and they're not treating you the way that you would prefer to be treated, the way you deserve to be treated, the way we deserve to be treated. Okay? So make sure we're not allowing the baggage from our previous relationship to be the reason for this lack of communication, right? Just in the moment, just temporary, okay? So don't allow your partner to punish you for the treatment they received from a past partner, okay? If we are not able to separate our past baggage from what's going on with our partner, or if they are not able to separate their past baggage with what's going on with their previous partner. So we are not, we are the opposite of mental, emotional, physical punching bags. Period, end of story. Period. End of story. Okay? All right. Now, singles. This is saying, hey, be more mindful, be more careful, because you may be interested in someone who's just playing games with you, who really has no intention of following through. They just want to see how far they can take things. So be mindful and decide where we want to put our time and our energy. That's really what this is about. Basically, delayed or disappointing news, okay, is coming. And patience is required. More patience is required, okay? So basically, it's a time for us to be extremely careful. What are we going to say? Are we going to respond? Or are we not going to respond? Are we going to put time and energy into ourselves? Or are we going to, put time and energy into ourselves? Or are we going to give our time and energy to other people? Okay? So, now, money. This is having fantastic ideas, inspiration. This is creativity all around. Okay? So, just bear in mind, we need to be able to put thought into action. Okay? We may need to further our education in order to reach the goals that we've set for ourselves. Maybe if we're waiting for news for a job interview, it will be delayed, okay? It's likely to be positive. So patience, okay? Then, financially, okay? News we've been waiting for, maybe delayed, like loans, mortgages, financial news. I'm not sure. Maybe a phone call, right? Maybe you're waiting on a phone call to one of these, to a financial industry, okay? The news is coming, okay? It will just be delayed. So patience is required. That's okay, because you know what? God is in control. All delays are for our benefit, okay? So this card is just reminding us not to look down, okay? Not to look down, not to be sad, to remember that this is actually for our highest and greatest good, okay? So, financially, we would do well to take on some sound financial blah, blah, blah. If anyone offers us sound financial advice, we would do well to consider it. Again, are we being manipulated? Or is this sincere, right? In the upright, sincere. In the reverse, manipulation. So what it's saying is it's okay to ask for the same question, to ask for the same information from another individual, maybe someone who's older, someone who's wiser, someone who's a little more experienced. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? We're just asking for a second opinion. We are ensuring that we are being mindful and careful through this process, Okay? So now, in reverse, maybe we can't make up our mind, right? Maybe we're jumping from one thing to another, hoping that just something takes off, right? So we need to have more action behind our ideas, more intention, more energy, okay? That's what this card is asking us for. It's saying things may be a little out of balance at the moment, which is not a bad thing. Again, delays being in our favor. In reverse, it's just a longer delay, okay? So again, if we're waiting on, news for a job placement or a transfer or something like that, it's coming. It's just going to be delayed. Now, in the reverse, it may not be the outcome we had hoped for, okay? So financially, getting news, but it's not going to be what we had hoped for. Like maybe we're being denied for a loan or a mortgage or, a car or, God, what do we get loans for? Houses, cars, electronics, repairs, things of that nature, okay? So just be mindful, okay? This is, again, just bringing our focus back together. Being aware that our focus has been pulled apart temporarily. And so the universe is just like, hey, let's collect it. Let's round it back up. Okay? So, moving on to health. This is fantastic news. Fantastic. So, if we have had any illnesses or injuries in the past, this is the universe saying it is gifting us. Okay? God, the universe is gifting us with this healing energy, and we would do well to utilize it properly at this time. Okay? So be careful not to overdo it. Balance, mindfulness, carefulness, right? Ease ourselves back into things. But the universe has our back. God is sending this healing energy in our direction for our benefit. Okay? So this is fantastic energy. We may not feel like it. We may not see it. Because of the delay, we may feel like we have all of this to catch up on. And we may be a little sour and be like, oh, I've got all this stuff to do. But that's exactly the whole point of this energy, is to flush out that old energy so that we can be mindful and careful about where we are mentally to allow this healing energy to be received by us. So guys, that's fantastic. Now in reverse, it may be an indication of mental health issues. Maybe just, like I said, feeling mentally scattered, foggy, or confused. Okay? Again, it's not anything bad or wrong. It's just the universe saying, hey, now's a good time to get a little more clear, to become a little more focused. Okay? Because again, we're trying to do too much. But that's why the universe is going to put a halt to things to give us that time to heal. Okay? So slow down and give yourself the time, right? Why are we giving and giving and giving to others when we neglect to give to ourselves? So this is the universe saying it's okay. You have the universe's permission to love and care and nourish yourself, especially right now. Okay, the last one, spirituality. So in the upright position, maybe we have been looking away. See how he's looking away? The notes say we've been neglecting our spiritual side in favor of the more logical side of life, right? We've been neglecting, looking away, and the universe is saying, nope. I know that makes sense, but I need you to look at this perspective. I need you to turn your head and look this way because I'm trying to show you something, right? So there's a place for logic and reason in our life, but our spiritual side needs a place too, okay? See, the water's trying to come in, and we're looking away from the water. We're looking at all of this earthly grounded energy. And the universe is saying, hey, balance, okay? So now in reverse, this is an indication. This is a warning, okay? In reverse, be aware of those who may use their sharp wit to manipulate us, okay? They may appear in the form, may, doesn't mean they will, all right? They may appear in the form of spiritual leaders to act as if they know everything. And that, think about that. How do we feel when we're being treated that way? It doesn't make us feel very good. So our spiritual journey is to learn and grow and develop. So this is a scenario where the universe is wanting us to be more mindful and careful. Hey, are we treating others this way? Or are we allowing ourselves to be treated this way by others? Okay? So they may take what works for us, throw the rest away. This is our own journey. This is our own path, okay? The whole point is trusting our intuition, right? So all of this is the universe teaching us and sending us on lessons so that we can get to where it is that we want to be eventually. So be mindful, be extremely careful when this comes out in a spiritual spread, okay? Ensure we are also balanced in sharing, communicating with more than one individual, okay? Balanced ideas, balanced thought, balanced creativity, right? All right. So again, guys, just to sum it up, air sign. It's represented by all three air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And this is just an indication of patience. The universe is asking us for patience, whether it is general, romance, money, health, or spirituality. This is delays are coming, but it's okay. Delays, what? Only aid and assist us, right? So whether it is disappointing news or just delayed news, it's working in our favor. If it's disappointing news, there's something that we overlooked. There's some scenario that we could have been more careful and more mindful. And that's the reason we're in the reverse of this cycle, okay? It's so that the universe is asking us to tune in, to check in with our heads, but check in with our hearts as well, okay? All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I will see you guys later. Peace, love, and happiness. Bye.